Child celebrities who have terrible lives now. Young celebrities frequently win our hearts with their talent and charisma, but the complicated reality that lies beneath the shine and glamour is often overlooked. A large number of these young celebrities struggle with issues like addiction, mental health problems, and the demands of stardom as they enter adulthood. In this video, we will highlight 7 notable child celebrities whose lives have taken difficult turns after their early success. Number 7. Judith McCurdy. Due to her relatable character and humorous timing, Judith McCurdy became a fan favorite in her first role on Nickelodeon's iCarly, where she played Sam Puckett. But behind her success was a turbulent personal life filled with intense emotional conflict. Judith's mother's stardom fantasies for her daughter frequently eclipsed her daughter's own desires and independence, making their relationship especially difficult. McCurdy describes the depth of the emotional abuse she suffered in her memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, including the severe control over her eating habits and personal decisions that resulted in severe problems with body image and disordered eating patterns. She struggled to deal with the demands of celebrity because of the atmosphere that encouraged feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. McCurdy gave up acting and used her experiences to write. She then started a podcast where she talks about mental health problems and the challenges of growing up in the spotlight. Her candor about her difficulties has struck a chord with a lot of people, bringing attention to the frequently unseen struggles that child stars endure and highlighting the need of encouraging surroundings in Hollywood. Number 6. Gary Coleman. As a young actor on the popular sitcom Different Strokes, Gary Coleman rose to fame as a cultural icon thanks to his portrayal of Arnold Jackson. But difficulties in his life had existed long before he became well known. Coleman was born with a congenital kidney disease and had numerous surgeries throughout his childhood. This stunted his physical growth to the point where he was only 4 feet 8 inches tall, and it also made him struggle with identity and self-worth. Coleman's mishandling of his money caused him serious financial problems as he entered adulthood. Even though he made millions of dollars while appearing on Different Strokes, he filed for bankruptcy in 1999 as a result of legal disputes over contracts, which left him bankrupt. His private life was just as turbulent. He had strained friendships and a rocky marriage that ended in divorce. Coleman struggled to find stability or peace because of the media's sensational portrayal of his health and personal problems and the public scrutiny of him. Sadly, Coleman died in May 2010 of an epidural hematoma after suffering a fall at home. It was a tragic end to a life characterized by both great brilliance and intense struggle. Number 5. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan's ascent to fame was meteoric. She captured audiences with her performances in family-friendly films like The Parent Trap, Mean Girls, and Freaky Friday. But as she entered adulthood, Lohan became entangled in a web of personal problems made worse by the media's constant scrutiny. Her mental health suffered due to the pressures of upholding her public persona, which resulted in drug addiction problems that were widely reported in her late teens and early 20s. During this time, Lohan's legal issues started to escalate, leading to numerous arrests for DUI and probation infractions, which made her attempts at healing and rehabilitation even more difficult. Each incident was met with intense media coverage that often sensationalized her struggles rather than offering compassion or understanding. In spite of these obstacles, Lohan has worked hard to rebuild her career. She has taken part in a number of initiatives meant to boost her public profile while emphasizing personal development via counseling and introspection. In recent years, she has ventured into entrepreneurship with lifestyle brands and reality television projects that showcase her journey toward healing and reinvention, highlighting her resilience in overcoming adversity. Number 4. Corey Haim. One of the most iconic teenage hotties of the 1980s, Corey Haim starred in movies that became classics like The Lost Boys, License to Drive, and Dream a Little Dream. Haim's life was ruined by severe addiction issues that started in his adolescence, despite his early success and broad appeal among young audiences. He frequently discussed openly how the demands of Hollywood led to his substance abuse issues. As a rising star, he found it difficult to handle the pressures of meeting the expectations of both fans and industry insiders. Haim's addiction resulted in a stream of failed relationships and unstable finances. At one point, his inability to find consistent work in Hollywood after his prime years put him in danger of going bankrupt. Feelings of loneliness and hopelessness as he made his way through life away from the spotlight, frequently fighting addiction and depression, added to his struggles. Sadly, Haim died in March 2010 at the age of 38 from pneumonia brought on by his long history of drug use. His tragic death highlighted the need for improved support systems for child stars dealing with similar issues in a cruel industry. Number 3. Judith Barr. At a young age, Judith Barr's voice work in animated films such as The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven demonstrated her extraordinary talent as a child actress. Even though she was cast in roles that emphasized her talent, Judith's home life was dangerous. Her father, who suffered from mental health issues, mistreated her severely and even physically attacked her mother. Despite her best efforts, Judith's mother was unable to protect her daughter from the abusive environment her father had created. Despite these horrifying circumstances, the young actress went on to work, but she spent a large portion of her childhood hiding in fear. After years of suffering in silence, Judith's father shocked the country in July 1988 when he killed her and her mother and took his own life not long after. The tragic tale of Judith serves as a sobering reminder of the vulnerabilities that child stars may face when they are confined to abusive environments and lack the means to leave them. Her legacy has resulted in heightened awareness of the need to prevent child abuse and in favor of protective measures for children who are at risk within families. Number 2. Drake Bell. Drake Bell became well known as a character on Nickelodeon's Drake and Josh, where he and co-star Josh Peck displayed their comedic abilities. But Bell has been candid about facing serious mental health issues while he was working in Hollywood. He talked about how being taken advantage of in the Nickelodeon system caused him to have emotional problems for a long time after he stopped acting as an adult. As a result of inappropriate online behavior involving minors, Bell has faced serious legal issues in recent years. These allegations have caused him to face significant backlash in both his personal and professional life, as well as negative media coverage has been widely disseminated while investigations into his actions continue. After these incidents, he apologized in court for what he had done and began therapy as a step toward recovery and atonement. This process, which places a strong emphasis on accountability, addresses underlying mental health issues resulting from the pressures of childhood fame that he has personally experienced throughout his career trajectory to date. Number 1. Mara Wilson. As a young actress, Mara Wilson won over audiences' hearts with her parts in movies such as Matilda and Mrs. Doubtfire. Even though Wilson achieved great success at a young age and became one of Hollywood's most beloved child stars, she eventually gave up acting during her adolescent years due in large part to the growing pressures that come with being thrust into the spotlight at such a young age rather than focusing only on her career goals without taking into account the impact that would have on her overall experience and mental health. She has been open about how these pressures directly contributed to her struggles. With anxiety disorders and depression, feeling overawed by her own expectations as well as those imposed by others played a major role in her decision to leave Hollywood entirely after she became burned out from the constant scrutiny of her appearance and performance skills. She gave up acting completely to pursue her career as a published author, and now she advocates actively for mental health awareness by giving public speeches that specifically aim to dispel the stigma associated with mental illness among today's youth. She also shares her insights on navigating life after childhood stardom. Her story not only offers as an encouraging illustration of perseverance, but it also emphasizes how important it is to put one's own acceptance of oneself ahead of externally imposed society norms. The in-depth narratives showcase not only the difficulties encountered by these people, but also their ability to persevere through intricate lives following their childhood celebrity, underscoring significant concerns about mental health assistance in the entertainment sector. Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe.